Good evening, friends, followers, and channel members, and welcome to this Bank Holiday Monday evening stream here in the UK, or of course, if you are in the USA, then it's Memorial Day, the end of the Memorial Day weekend, and with that, we thought we'd do a special fly-by-wire test flight this evening. And we're heading up to Waterloo, which is up in New York. Now, the reason for that is that from my very limited knowledge of USA history, it's meant to be the birthplace, I believe, of the Memorial Day, and it was actually a little bit difficult to find a sort of airport that we could take the A320 to around there. There's quite a few airports around the area, but they're all small local airfields, none of which would accept a Airbus 320. So we've gone for the closest one I could find. Certainly not one that I am familiar with, and I know nothing of the airport we're about to embark towards. But this is the Washington DC airport, famous for its river visual approach. We're going to be departing here and heading up to upstate New York, so that could be kind of fun. What are we testing then? So what we're testing tonight is nothing you're actually physically going to be able to see or hear, but since the software development kit for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 has been updated, whenever that's done, of course, the fly-by-wire team have to update their versions to the latest software development kit, and to do that, they I mean, I'm not a coder, I don't know what they do, but basically they've got to port everything over to the new software development kit and make sure that it all works. So what we are hoping for tonight is absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. So this is essentially still the developer build, and hopefully nothing will go wrong. The idea, of course, with test flights is to break them. We obviously don't want anything like that to happen tonight, so we've got a normal standard instrument departure, we've got an ILS approach planned, we'll test things like make sure TCAS works, the weather radar as well, stuff like that. So basically we're going to do a real ops flight in the hope that nothing bad is going to happen. So stick with us for that. The flight time is about 1 hour. As you can see, the passengers are about ready to start getting boarded, and hopefully we'll give you a bit of entertainment as well as we embark upon this short flight in eastern USA. So good evening to everybody that I can see in the chat room. So Baggy CB, hello from Germany. Dark, good to see you. DC Gert, Leonard, and Pilot Pat, thank you for joining us this evening. Pilot Pat, glad you've got some smoother gameplay as well. Very important. Sarkotech, good evening as well. Blue Homeland, hopefully I've just answered your question. And Dr. Magic, good to have you on board. Danny Rubble as well, and Jack on Facebook. And for those of you that have liked and subscribed since we started the stream, a big thank you to you as well. I'm also going to be checking out the Navigraph charts. I'm purely going to be relying upon the Navigraph charts here in the flight simulator. I do have them backed up somewhere on a tablet in case things go wrong there, but I don't want to. I want to find out whether using the charts in the simulator is actually going to be quite nice. So we shall see. So good evening as well to Filtzy, Craig, Similar, and Guido. Thank you for coming along. John Boy as well, Crozar, and Akash on Facebook as well. So that's quite neat. Sarkotech, there's no place really to see a changelog for the developer version because it gets updated so often. Usually the changelog is only really shown with the stable version. So that's hopefully answered that question. V1, that's a great name. V1, good afternoon from Alberta in Canada. Hope you've had a great weekend. And CK, you had to watch the video for the RNAV today. Oh, you're quite welcome. Hope that's worked for you. Of course, we do have a slight problem with RNAV and RMP approaches at the moment, is that the final approach button does not work if you are using the fly-by-wire developer build. J-Hog, good evening. And Brett Smith, good. I'm going to say good morning from Christchurch, New Zealand. Great to have you on board, and Feta as well popping in there. Great to see all you guys here. So let's get ready to fly. I think our GPU is already there and ready to help us power up. Let's get the fly plan turned on, and a couple of batteries, 1 and 2. And we can then also look to get that external power turned on as well, if it's already there. There we go. Craig, any idea why you don't have any arrival information in your McDo? No runways for anything. Wow, that sounds stressful. Honest answer, Craig, I'm afraid I've no idea. Not really sure how I can help you with that. If you can take to the Discord, then that might help. Have you currently got the correct airx cycle installed? Hopefully you have, with an update from Zobo, or are you using Navigraph beta version? A couple of things to explore there. Alfie 001, you're not late, so you're right on time. We've not even begun boarding just yet. Brent Smith, Brent Smith. Good afternoon to you. Right, so we've just had the clicks. Let's go through, and we're literally going to do the real ops flight, testing everything to make sure it all works as we would expect. So just going through the flows. Oh, that's quite nice to see that the emergency exit signs are now showing off. I've not seen that before, or maybe I have. Maybe I just can't remember. But I'm pretty certain that's not normally there. Obviously, that is now set. And let's do the engine test signs as well. So let me just bring up the eCams and see if we can I'll pop that out, bring that over here, and then as we do that, we should see some eCam warnings as well. There we go. That's engine 1 fire test, and engine 2 and APU. There we go. So everything working as it should just there. I should also say we are not on VATSIM or anything like that. I never do test flights on VATSIM, just in case anything goes wrong. So that's all okay. Right, we need to get some fueling done. We can leave the fuel pumps turned off for the time being, and seatbelt signs turned off as well whilst we get fueling done. But before we do that, let's come down here. Let's put the company information into the flypad. Easyjetsimpilot. Let's do that. So that should now work. Import from SimBrief. Let's just see. Dark, does hydraulics work now? I don't know. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Let's see. Oh wow! Oh right, okay. So we do have hydraulics screen is now displayed. I did not know that. Oh right, okay. Well, we may have to do. We may have to have a look at that at some point. Right. So let's then have a look and see what weather we've got as we depart. So what have we got? DC QNH is 1025. Wind 290 at 7, so we're going to be using runway 33 for our departure today, which gives passengers on the right hand side of the aircraft a fantastic view of Washington monuments as we fly over. I've just realised I think the Nightbot may be having a moment, so I'll just disable that for a few seconds. There we go. So that's all good. What I'll also do is pop in the operational flight plan for today. There it is. That's now in the chat in YouTube, if anyone wants to go and grab that. Brian, we could do the single engine taxi and see if the yellow electric pump works. We could do that. Quiz question, first quiz question of the night. How long must the engine be running before you can apply takeoff thrust? There's the first question of the evening. So weather's pretty decent for departure, nothing major to report there. What have we got on arrival then? So we're going to be arriving runway 32, I believe it is. Ooh, gusts as well, gusting to 20 knots, but visibility and everything looks pretty good there. So that's all okay. Let's have a look then at our dispatch notes, operational flight plan, and let's scroll down. What have we got? Plan block fuel. Yeah, I mean, we're doing a test flight. So as we are doing a test flight, it would be prudent of us to actually take the blocked fuels just to see how that fuel burn is. So about 4.9 tons. Let's have a quick look at that. And a little bit more. I want to get it as close as possible. So there we go. That'll do. Real time. And there we go. We're defueling. Right, so whilst that's on the way, let's come down, center instrument panel, turn that up. I've got the Q&H here from the flypad. It's 1025. Of course, here in the USA, we wouldn't be using that, would we? We'd be using the mercury levels, but we'll use hectopascals for now. HD, good afternoon. Hope you're well. 2 minutes. It's not 2 minutes, is it? It's 3 minutes. Oh, I see what you're doing there, HD. Don't scare me like that. Oh, anyway. What are we doing? There we go. Anti-skid is on. That's all set. Let's come down to the center instrument panel, check this out. I think I've still got air traffic control turned on, you know. We'll let those do it. That should be turned on. Oh, how many positions has that got? It should just have off and on, shouldn't it? That seems to be not quite right there. Oh well, never mind. Well, it's meant to be on, so we'll leave that as is. Never mind. Everything else is where it should be. Guard frequency 121.5. Thrust levers, spoilers, flaps, everything else all looks good. I think we can now start letting the passengers on board and start the flight.
Cabin crew, we're happy to get going now, so as soon as you're ready, you can open the doors and start letting passengers on board. Sure, no problem.
So, we'll leave that set to Q&H. Very un-American of me, I know, but never mind. Flight directors 1 and 2. And then we'll come check IRS alignment is in around 1 minute. After that, let's check the FMGS and set that all up. So, information from SimBrief. Options. No, I don't need the options page. I meant the ATSU page. There we go. Clear the scratch pad out. AOC, init press, and pull that through. 47 minutes the flight time from Washington DC to, I want to say Keith. It's not called Keith. In fact, I've actually forgotten the name of the airport. It's written in the video description. I'm sure someone will be kind enough to let me know. But yeah, it's the closest airport I could find up to Waterloo, New York. So that's all well and good. And we've got that fuel is already loading. So let's have a look then at the operational flight plan. What do we have? We have 175 passengers, a payload of 18,200. Zero fuel weight is correct at 59.2. Bang on, actually. And we can just change that closer to 30. There we go. We'll just change that 30.1. And load. Okay, so that's the weights loaded in. Let's start setting up the setting up the McDo. So aircraft status, we have the LEAP engines, right engine type, valid air cycle. Ithaca, thank you guys, it's Ithaca. And with all that correct, let's go and hopefully get the information in from data link. Passengers are now boarding, so that's good to know. The alternate tonight then, it's probably going to be somewhere daft because I haven't paid too much attention to the alternates and things for this test flight. The alternate's actually JFK, which I know marginally better than Ithaca Airport. Flight level 370, and I'm happy to leave minus 52 there just because the flight plan is a couple of hours old now, so that's probably a little bit more accurate. Wind and tropo, etc. That's actually not too far off either. We could probably change that to 38,300 feet, just around that, closer to the flight plan, but that's okay. Alright, so how are we departing today? So we're departing runway 33, and that is on the Hoto 4. And which transition? Is that Jera's transition, isn't it? There we go, again. That is from the operational flight plan, which hopefully you've all got in the chat. Let's insert that. Now, arrival into Keith, as I'm going to affectionately call it, is just an ILS approach from runway 32. There is no star, so that's correct, no star. Via the Charlie Foxtrot Bravo, it's got in there. I don't think there's any alternates. Charlie Foxtrot Bravo. Oh, actually, it is via the Charlie Foxtrot Bravo. That is correct. So insert that. There we go. Right, so the flight plan, 264 miles, 266 miles on the operational flight plan. That looks good. The ideas aligned yet? Yep, they are. Tell you what I didn't do, because I skipped a step and brought up the ECAM screens a little bit early, so I didn't turn up the main flight display brightness, but there we are. So that all looks good on that initial departure. Let's just flip through that and check what that looks like. So that looks good. We'll have a look at the Navigraph charts within the sim in a moment as well, guys. So once we get up, let's just see how that approach looks. That is spot on. Nice. I only know that's spot on because I had a quick look at the charts prior to the stream this evening. But indeed, yeah, that looks good and correct. Okay, Yap, is it your birthday today? Ah, fantastic. We'll send the cabin crew to you nice and early. So, great stuff. So, happy birthday to you. Now then, what's next? Where were we? Radnav page, what do we need? Well, I tell you what, before we go any further, let's just check out the SimBrief charts. So, if we open this up, the one problem I have found with this since I've started using it is every time you open it, you have to sign in, which is a great pain, because it would be much nicer if it would remember it. Sadly, it doesn't, so I have to go in, log into my account, type in the code. So that's 4 Whiskey Zulu Tango Zulu Sierra Golf Sierra. Approve that, and then as if by magic they should now start working in a second. So the account's been successfully linked. We can close the browser tab. Here it comes. And there we are. We've now got the charts. So on the Auto RNAV departure, as you can see, we should. We'll see if we need to actually get anything in there. I don't think we actually do. No. Okay, and we've obviously got information here on the charts with regards to our initial climb as well. So it looks like our initial climb out is to 5,000 feet unless ATC told us otherwise. Of course, air traffic control, we're not using them tonight, so that's fine. So it's an RNAV departure, so even though we've got the information here, climb on track to 515 feet, then direct to, I wanted to say revenge then, that's not not right, is it? Riverge. Cross Riverge at 1,500 or above, and at or below 220 knots. Do we have that on here? Yes, we do. So we've got a maximum speed of 220 knots on there. Here's the track we'll be taking, departing runway 33 on the heading of 334, and then we're out. And if we look on, I'll just jump back to the flight plan, you actually see, so that will be this user point. There we go. So that is the 515 feet. So once we get to 515 feet, then we start tracking direct to Riverge at above 1,500 feet with the maximum speed restriction of 220 knots or below, of course. So just making a quick note of that for me, and then we'll check out the performance figures as well. Either way, nothing there really that I'm going to enter into the RAVNAV, so that's okay. Let's have a look then at the init B page. So zero fuel weight is going to be 59.2, zero fuel weight centre of gravity. We'll just cheap one that, pop that in there like so. Fuel planning, we have got, or we should have 4.9, I believe it is. Have we got that now loaded in? 4.9, that is correct. And trip wind is H13. So let's see what that suggests. 4, we've got 4.9s. Let's pop that in. So a takeoff weight of 64 tons on a runway visual, runway departure. So we've got the takeoff for runway 33 showing anywhere. It's going to be the full length of runway 33, which is oh, that's short. 1,586 meters. Ooh. Okay, well, let's put it to the real test then. That's going to be a Toga flap 3 takeoff, isn't it? Alternate fuel is going to be 1.7, and then that gives us an extra 17 minutes of flying time then, according to that. Okay. We could use runway, I think HD, because of the winds, we'd use runway 1 as opposed to runway 36. Runway 1 is a lot larger, isn't it? But we should be able to get HD, we should be able to get out flaps 3 Toga, shouldn't we? Just to see how the aircraft behaves. It's a test flight. I don't mind putting it through its paces to see if that does work. Can we get out at that? 1586? I know you won't have performance figures available for Washington DC Airport. I'll leave you to ponder that one. Let's then go to the performance page. So, transition altitude, of course, here in the USA, 18,000. Thrust reduction, acceleration, yep, that's correct. 14 feet, 1010. That's fine. Engine out acceleration is the same, so we're going to go flaps 3 and we're going to go Toga. Let's have a look and see what our V speeds are going to be. So V2 127, 123, and 122. Okay, so that max speed is 220 knots. We should be able to clean up and pull the speed of well, if we pull the speed of about 215, that should be fine. Yeah, good point. HD Jersey isn't that much longer, is it? So we'll set 215 as our speed for that. JDN, sadly the website for the flex temp seems to have disappeared, so until some alternate comes along, either through fly-by-wire, we're on our own, unfortunately, which is painful, but there we go. If in doubt, toga it, and I think that's probably the way we should do it for now. Alright, so let's have a little look at our departure briefing. So we are parked, do you know what, that's a blooming good question. Where are we parked? Wherever we are, it's starting to get cloudy. So we're parked somewhere around here. We're going to I have no idea. It's not a handcrafted airport, so we can't tell exactly where we are. If I just have a look at the information just here, let's see what's going to be the quickest way to taxi to runway 33. Oh, come back. So looks like the best way would be to push back, taxi them via Golf, Hotel, and Fox. There we go. So that's going to take us to just here, isn't it? So there we go. We're going to taxi via Golf, Hotel down there, and then Foxtrot. Great stuff. So that all looks good. That's how we're departing. We've already quickly had a look at the departure, and we know 515 feet before making that right hand turn, and then that's coded in nicely. We can get autopilot on to help control some of that. We'll make sure to pull the speed bug once we've cleaned up to around 215 knots once we've passed Revenge, and to be fair, we may not even get that far before we may have passed Revenge before getting to Green Dot, so that's okay. Minimum safe altitude is, as that's shown on here, difference between the UK, between the European and the American charts. So it's looking like we've got minimum safe altitude of 3,300 feet. I believe that is. So 3300, and that looks fine. Okay, I believe I've already heard the ding to say everybody is now on board. Let's close that down. Let's get back in. And with everyone on board, we can go ahead, disconnect the jetway, and lock the doors, lock everyone in. So just checking the lower ECAM now for the other doors to start closing up as well. Wonderful.
Cabin crew, please land on cross-check.
So refueling is completed. Let's get the fuel pumps on.
Passengers are on board and doors have been closed. The drink cart is fully loaded and all liability forms have been signed. We're about ready to go. Good luck with the test flight and please get us back in one piece.
Great stuff, thank you very much.
So the Nightbot is still telling us that we're flying from Lyon to Corsica. That is, of course, not correct, Danny. The route is in the video description. If that's any use, I'll change that once we're airborne. So just waiting for the APU to power up, and is the GPU still providing us with power? Yep, good. Glad about that. Nightbot, you are sacked. Yes, thank you, Leonard. So there we can see our route out of there. It looks a little dog-legged, doesn't it? But there is a reason for that. It's because to the east of the airfield, you've got restricted space. Oh, we've got air traffic control. How nice. Well, I don't want to push back just yet. Oh. What is he doing? Oh, okay. He's had a change of mind. Well, that's fine. I'm not ready for him yet, just yet anyway. So how's that APU doing? There we go. APU's running. Let's get the APU bleed air on, and we can now tell the external ground power that they can go away. Off he goes. This truck driver's drunk, by the way. Okay, so We've talked about how we're going to do the taxi and the departure. Other things to be aware of. The weather here, of course, is absolutely fine for coming back here to land. However, if we did come back here to land, we'd be landing on runway, is it runway 1, the long one? Whichever one it is. It's that one just there. I think it's runway 1. So that's the runway we'd come back and land on if we did have a problem. If we did have an initial problem, however, we still need to maintain a nice straight out departure to begin with, and that is due to the restricted area that we are not allowed to overfly. I don't actually know what the specifics would be here in the real world. If you had a major problem that needed to return, if you had an engine fire, I'd like to think that the US government would be slightly forgiving if you overflew their restricted airspace, so you could get all your passengers back on the ground without crashing into the river or anything daft like that. But that might actually now be procedure. Now Sully's sort of set the precedent there, hasn't he? If you have a problem, you can't get back to the airport, well, there's the river. So so there we go. So anyway, weather's fine, shouldn't be an issue. Landing weight, we're taking off below the maximum landing weight, so we could get in without having to run any overweight checklists. No times, I'll be honest, not bothered looking at them because we're not on VATSIM. And threats to be aware of is just that restricted airspace. And of course, it would we'd need to just pay attention to that speed restriction as well. And no turns below 515 feet. Okay, so I think we're almost about ready to go. Welcome everyone on board. Let's run the before start checklist to the line. So we all the cockpit prep is all set. Let's just lock the doors. That's all done, and the signs are on and auto. Let's just check a couple of other things then here as well. So we've got the ideas as 3 nav green. Fuel quantity is 4.9 tons, loaded, checked and balanced. FMGS is coded and altimeter is 1025. Check that is still current. 1025, yep. And I'm aware, of course, we shouldn't be using hectopascals here in the USA, but there we are. So that's all done. We've already been given our pushback clearance from air traffic control, so with that in mind, let's welcome everyone on board. We shall get the rotating beacon light turned on. I'm going to use this toolbar actually. Where's that? Let's start the pushback. Hopefully that will now kick in. There we are. So we've got the rotating beacon light on. Nose wheel steering is disconnected. And set the timer running. Acupressure is checked. We'll get the transponder turned on as well. There we go. And let's run the before start checklist below the line. So windows and doors closed and armed. Ecam status has been checked. We'll check that again. Systems normal. And mobile phone is off. Parking brake is on, but we're about to release that. So, welcome on board everyone. We're going to start our pushback.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking, and on behalf of the Fly-by-Wire development team, I'd like to welcome you on board this Fly-by-Wire test flight in the Airbus A320NX. Today, we're going to be testing out some new systems, so I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. A reminder that this version of the Airbus is not yet available for download. All of the new systems will shortly be merged into the developer build and the upcoming experimental version. For now, please listen to your cabin crew, get yourself sat seated with your seatbelts securely fastened, and as the ground crew finish loading the last of your luggage into the aircraft, we look forward to a safe, smooth departure, and we hope you enjoy your flight. Once again, on behalf of the Fly-by-Wire team, thank you very much for choosing to fly with us today, and we look forward to delivering you a safe and pleasant journey.
Washington ground music Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey 4960 requesting the end of pushback.
Positive Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey 4960 request to end pushback received.
Change the length of the belt, adjust the strap. To open the buckle, lift the metal flap. All emergency exits are clearly marked. Take a moment now to locate the exit nearest you. Emergency exit lights are located near the floor in each aisle to assist you to an exit. As you can see, this aircraft has 6 exit doors. 3 doors are located on the left side and 3 doors on the right side. Each door is equipped with an automatic slide. In an emergency, flight attendants will inflate slides from all safe exits. In the event of an evacuation, move quickly to the exit nearest you and jump into the slide. Leave all luggage behind. After you reach the bottom of the slide, move immediately away from the airplane. Our cabin pressure is controlled for your comfort. If a change in pressurization occurs, oxygen masks will automatically drop from the small compartment above your seat.
Washington ground music Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey 4960 ready to taxi north departure with uniform.
To your face until the pin is released and you
Positive Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey 4960 taxi to and hold short of runway 33 via taxiway Foxtrot cross runway 1 cross runway 22 Foxtrot. Contact tower on 13.4.35 when ready.
Continue to wear the oxygen mask until instructed to remove it.
Taxiing hold short runway 33 using taxiway Foxtrot cross runway 1 cross runway 22 Foxtrot using Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey 4960.
Unfold the vest and hold it in front of you. Place your arms through the straps, then slip the vest over your head. Pull down on the straps to extend the back flap. Pull the straps outward until the vest fits tightly around your waist. As you leave the airplane, inflate the vest by pulling down sharply on both red handles. The vest may also be inflated by blowing into the tubes at the sides. If traveling with a child, please refer to the safety information card. The evacuation slides in the front of the airplane and in the back of the airplane may be used as life rafts. In preparation for takeoff, please ensure that your seat is upright with the tray table closed. Your cabin baggage should be securely stowed beneath the seat in front of you or in one of the overhead compartments, which is latched closed. Please remember that smoking is permitted in your seat only when the no smoking sign is turned off in flight. We suggest that you take a few moments to review the safety information card, which is located in the seat pocket in front of you. This airplane is equipped with numerous features for your comfort and convenience. The control to recline your seat is located in your armrest. Your flight attendant call button, reading light, and fresh air outlet are located directly above each seat. An ashtray is found in the armrest. Magazine racks are conveniently located.
Okay, so pushback is all completed. Let's just run the after start checklist. So the anti-ice not required for this departure. Econ status is checked. Pitch trim is 32.5 and rudder trim set 0. Pushback is now clear. We've got the taxi clearance. Let's get the taxi light on. And let's begin the taxi. So, just to double check, we're taxiing out and across runway 1, across runway, whatever runway this is, and down there via Fox. And parking brakes are now off. Let's get the radars on. And we can also ding the cabin as well, get that out of the way. So, flight control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, and the rudder, full right, full left, and neutral. Let's go. So just get myself back aligned with the taxiway. There we go. So unfortunate test flight. Oh, no, it wasn't a test flight, but unfortunate flight in the CRJ yesterday. Yeah, that certainly didn't go as planned. I have actually updated it since, double checked it, and all is working as it should be now. So that's all good. So right hand turn just here. I've actually got live traffic on as well. They've still not fixed the auto brake clicking back on as and when. Now this is an active runway that we are about to cross, so let's just get those strobe lights on. So you may see some aircraft moving around. If you do, they are real world flights.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff, please.
So let's do a quick PEDS check. Performance is still 1025. It's still going to be a flaps 3 toga, so that won't make any difference to the performance. Engine out procedure, we need to follow the SID, making sure we avoid the restricted airspace areas, and then we'll come back round to land on runway 01, the north facing runway, after which hopefully all will be well. Of course, we don't want that to happen on this test flight. Departure matches what on the FMGC. Stop altitude is 5,000 feet, and that's coded in. So this is runway 4 or 22 that we've just crossed. So before takeoff checklist to the line, flight controls checked, departure briefing confirmed, flap setting config 3, FMA takeoff data 122 blue, 127 magenta, climb nav blue, 5000 blue, 1 FD2, and toga for our takeoff.
Bravo, Whiskey 4960 to runway 33 ready for departure, north departure.
Citizen Foxtrot, Bravo, Whiskey 49er, 60 QNH 30 decimal, 27 wind tree, 01 at 12. North departure, approved. Cleared for takeoff, runway 33.
So traffic control's given us our departure clearance.
Takeoff, runway 33 using Foxtrot, Bravo, Whiskey 4960.
So we'll just go ahead, set the transponder and TARA, tilt above while I'm down there. So let's get the runway lights on, landing lights, nose lights, set all those on. Packs 1 and 2 now, both off. Set that parking brake to max again. TO config. Electronic flight bag is stowed. So the cabin is secured for takeoff. This is the before takeoff checklist now below the line. So cabin is secured for takeoff. Engine mode selector norm. TCAS TARA. Packs off. Anti-ice off. Let's line up. Max 75. Is that your local airport? Ah, that's quite handy. How many times do you see that on a stream? Right, let's use as much of this runway as we can, shall we? I wish there was a way to reduce how much brake you could use. Maybe 2 different buttons, one for max brake, one for just a little bit. There we go. Okay, and as you can see, using the brake has disabled the auto brake, so we need to just check that again. So let's do that now. Alright. And we're all ready to go. So, safe flying everybody on this fly-by-wire test flight and memorial flight as well, up to near Waterloo, New York. So, takeoff. Start the chrono. And set 50% N1. Just got the brakes on whilst we do this still. As you can see, auto brake max has just come off because of that, in which case we're now going to put that and set takeoff thrust, man toga, SRS. V1 and rotate.
Positive right, clear up.
And nav now showing.
Bravo Whiskey 4960, continue for north departure. Citizen Foxtrot, Bravo Whiskey 4960, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
And we'll set climb thrust.
Washington Tower, using Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey 4960, continue for north departure.
Why have we got man thrust showing? There we go, thrust climb. Get that nose down a little bit. We'll get autopilot on as well in a moment. So, flaps 1. Autopilot 1 coming on. Let's get those packs back on. We now don't need to worry about that speed restriction as we're past that waypoint. And we've passed S speed, so let's clean up. Flaps 0. Ground spoilers disarmed. And as you can see, we're going left, right, left, right, left, right. That is to avoid the airspace which we're not allowed to fly in. We may get an ice warning in a minute. Let's just put the anti-ice on, prevent that. And speed, alt, star. Okay, air traffic control. We're just going to climb ourselves up. We'll climb up flight level 200, set standard pressure, and thrust climb 200 blue. Kyle, you went to the Memorial Day services in Waterloo today. Ah, fantastic. That's where we're headed. Well, near there. There aren't too many airports really close to Waterloo that can take an A320. So we've had to opt for the next closest. Don't think I can get the standby any bigger, sadly. Any brighter, rather. So a big thank you to those of you that have recently subscribed. Apologies I couldn't give you a shout out. Obviously through departure it's a bit of a busy time. There's TCAS working, as you can see. Although we're not on VATSIM, so TCAS has been working for a while.
Cruising altitude today on this fly-by-wire test flight. Please take a moment to fill out the complimentary all-mating kit. You'll find this in the pocket of the seat in front of you. Once again, we thank you for being passengers on board this special test flight and promise you that the drinks trolley shall be around shortly. If you have any special requests for today's flight, please contact a member of our cabin crew. You may now also switch back on your electronic devices. However, a reminder that this is a test flight, and so you do so at your own risk. Thank you.
Okay, so we're good. We can carry on our climb up to flight level 370, which is our planned cruising level for today. So let's set that. Whoops! Zoom not doing its job. I must have hit a bump of turbulence. So let's set 370, and we've got 370 blue. Let's just zoom out a little bit on the map. There we go. Christian, that's a good point actually. They've now tweaked the icing, haven't they? Fingers crossed that that's now sorted. Have we got any icing shown on the wings? No, so that's quite neat. Hopefully we'll climb above these clouds here. It looks very cloudy over Washington at the where we've just departed. So Jake Vale, I'm using self-loading cargo for my apps. Right, we're going to release the cabin crew. So that's That's them told. To be fair, I'm not seeing any bad stuff on the weather radar ahead of me. We have got that turned on, haven't we? Yeah. Since Azobo and Microsoft updated that, it's just so rare not to see red, white, and green. White, red, yellow, and green on the navigation display. But of course, now it only shows precipitation, which is as it should be in the real world. So that's quite neat. Kyle, so after Ithaca it would have been Syracuse or Rochester. Yeah, I did look at Syracuse and Rochester, but you know what, I thought I just wanted to get to the closest one for the flight today. I think we can turn the ice off. Jake, I've never used PackX, so I'm afraid I'm not the person to ask. I think there's some people in the chat that may have used both, so perhaps you guys can help. John Boys, this is strange you're doing the same flight and your live weather has no clouds. That is strange. And Michael Prince, Michael, sir, welcome to the Captain's Club. Many thanks for your very kind support of the stream. It is really kind of you. Means all drinks are now free to you on every flight that we do, and I look forward to seeing Michael on many more flights. So also get yourself on our Discord as well. Join the Discord community there. It's good fun with lots of questions answered for anybody that wants helped. So thank you, Michael, for your membership. Ahmed Khan, yeah, we're using live weather, so hopefully anyone that happens to be around the Washington area, this is what you'd see if you were above the clouds. Below the clouds, I'm presuming there are clouds there. Jake, you like Exeter Airport? Yes, Exeter's a nice small regional airport, isn't it? I've seen A320s there, so obviously it is possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
So we're now just watching to make sure the aircraft behaves as it should. And for those of you that missed what the test is, basically the test flight today is ensuring nothing goes wrong. They've recently, the Azobo team have updated the software development kit a little bit, and fly-by-wire of course then have to work within that. So this is a new version of the dev build for the A320NX, but coded, I believe, with the software migrated over to the new software development kit. So we're basically just checking. There shouldn't be any changes. If there are changes, then that's bad. Everything should work exactly as we know it to do. So that's nice. Fingers crossed, everything will work as planned. Jake, you're currently doing a flight from Bahamas to Barbados. Thunderstorms at 36,000 feet. Well, that's not beyond the realms of possibility. They can extend very high, those cumulonimbus clouds. XT, you've still got a problem with the autopilot. If you want to get on our Discord, hopefully we'll be able to help you with that. I don't get the passenger. I use a add-on mod called self-loading cargo for that.
showing the food items that are on offer. Please keep any litter you may have and our cabin crew will be around shortly afterwards to collect it. Thank you.
So I don't know if anyone is near Ithaca Airport in the chat in real life. What kind of weather have you got if you are? See if we get something realistic in the sim when we arrive there. Clouds are looking pretty decent though, aren't they? It's quite neat. Oh, Captain Campbell, if you want screaming passengers, you definitely need self-loading cargo. The self-loading cargo passengers go berserk if you bank over 10 degrees. Fuel flow doesn't look too bad, about 2 tons per engine per hour at the moment as we're climbing. Kyle, you're a 30-minute drive away. It's sunny and clear, that's what I want. Max 75, you can text your mother. How would that text go? Thank you to Michael J. Prince for the like on Facebook, and to Thidman on YouTube. Thank you very much for the subscription, as well to Rockstar Energy. Christian, the passengers screaming was the icing on the cake yesterday with the CRJ landing. Can we actually call that a landing? I'm not so sure. It was just a controlled descent into terrain, wasn't it? In the end, it wasn't very controlled either. Clouds, rolling clouds as far as the eyes can see at the moment. Oh, well, we've just passed flight level 300. I think the funniest part of the CRJ stream yesterday was after we'd crashed it, and it was just buried in somebody's back garden amongst the weeds. I thought it looked really good. I should have nabbed that for the thumbnail. Oh, best laid plans and all that. Jake, Exeter is dead. Just 8 flights arriving tomorrow. That's pretty similar to Leeds, Bradford, up near where I am. Yeah, I don't think I could ever top that landing. 3,000 feet per minute. Jake Vale, thank you very much, Jake, for the subscription. HD, did you not catch the stream yesterday? I know it was CRJ and not Airbus, so we were having a little bit of a laugh. But they updated the CRJ aircraft. What I didn't know is that after that... Oh, hello. I can see an aircraft. Why are you not showing on TCAS? Actually, it's below us. Oh, no, there it is. Ah, right, so let's see. It will show at 20. Will it have shown at 40? No, so the limit here is 20. There we go. Where's it gone? There it is, and with a contrail as well. Contrail from real world, real life traffic. Yeah, so as I was saying, they updated the CRJ, so I went ahead and updated the CRJ. Little did I know that actually, after they had updated it, there was another problem which I was unaware of, and the thrust levers were jittery, to say the least, and basically didn't work. So we got up in the air, the thrust levers then basically dropped back down, N1 disappeared, and we essentially just turned into a glider.
New York Center, using Foxtrot Bravo, Whiskey 4960, flight level 330.
Houston Foxtrot Bravo, Whiskey 4960, New York Center. Continue to Micah as planned.
Air traffic control still talking to us then. Now I just saw a quick message just there. Oh, Joanne, so the live weather not working now, you turn it on, flying through the clouds, you can't see anything. No, that's absolutely fine. That is exactly as it should be. You should now only see precipitation on the weather radar, rain, hail, that sort of stuff, which is the way it works in the real world. Before, the way that it worked in the simulator is every cloud you saw on the navigation display, which was incorrect. So I don't know if I can zoom out and see any precipitation anywhere. No, it looks like it's not raining anywhere near us at the moment, but that essentially is how it should be. So that's much more like real life. Danny, no, you're quite right. If anyone does want to go and check out the CRJ flight from yesterday, you only have to watch the first 20 minutes after we depart to see it all go very wrong. Shivan, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Hope to see you again on many more flights to come. I have got some good news, guys. So we've not had the long haul mileage Monday today, just because it's Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK, so it wasn't possible. However, I have some very, very good news. We're not going to be without this week. We are going to do a long haul flight later in the week. I don't know which day it will be, but we're definitely going to get a long haul flight in this week. So as soon as I know, I'll let you guys know, and we'll look forward to doing that. I'm thinking we might just we may do it on Friday. Do you remember long haul Fridays? They're so 2020. But that's how it all started, isn't it? A great way to end the week. So what are we? About 15 miles away from Valo, and we're about to reach the top of climb. We'll just check the FMAs, make sure they change as they should. And there we go, Mac Alt Star. And we should get Alt Cruise as well in a moment. There it is. Great stuff. So that's all working very, very nicely. J-Hog, not on Wednesday because you're playing golf. Oh, you're going to get sunburned. Remember your hat. Dark Fury, is it your birthday tomorrow? Oh, congratulations, Dark, for your upcoming birthday tomorrow. I'm sure you're feeling your age anyway with the new addition to the family. So, unfortunately, I can't do it tomorrow, Dark. It will not be tomorrow. That much I do know. Johan, my apologies if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. So, Johan, thank you very much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you on many, many more flights with us. Sorry, I'm getting completely distracted there by HD's very, very subtle hints. What's really annoying is we were on below before. We should have been above. Now we're below. It was set to below before we even departed, so there's a gross error check on my part. Apologies. So yeah, Johan, Jenny, thank you very, very much. Grab yourself a free drink from the bar, and we'll look forward to seeing you on many more flights. And please do join our Discord as well. Join the community, and hopefully you'll find any answers that you may have, or basically just enjoy the party on the Discord channel. So welcome to the First Officers Club, Johan. Right, so 3 turns at Oxy, 20 minutes into the flight. Let's check that out. So yeah, that's looking good time wise. And how much extra did we take? We didn't really take any extra, did we? So we've got about 300 tons. So what was that? The contingency, which was 200, and any extra. Oh, so we basically just burned 100 tons less than we expected. That's okay. That's pretty good, actually. HD, what would you like me to try? You know I will do anything as long as I know how to do it.
New York Center, generic November 14244 is at 8,700
Ladies and
feet,
gentlemen,
climbing
cockpit once
10,000 feet.
again, just to let you know, we've reached our cruise level for today's flight. So we should have a destination. As the cabin crew make their way around the aircraft, you make sure they are clear of any items on your way to sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight. Thank you.
So I'm just going to go ahead and grab the latest weather.
New York Center, Brickyard 4758 is passing flight level 235, descending 10,000 feet.
Oh, HD, you want me to do the fuel pumps? Well, it is a test flight. I don't mind it. Right. Which one do you want me to turn off? You want me to turn off the first officer's... oh, turn on, sorry, the displays. See what altitude it has compared to mine. Okay. Should they be exactly the same? Let's see. That'll just take a couple of seconds to set itself up. Let's just nip across then. So 37,000 feet, almost bang on. 30, yeah, they're both basically mirror images of each other. So yeah, they're both exactly the same.
New York Center, Brickyard 3705 is at flight level 2905, descending 10,000 feet. Brickyard 3705, New York Center, continue as planned.
Alright, so you're normally getting a little bit of a difference. I would imagine something like that is probably to try and save frame rates, isn't it? It's less coding, less things for the CPU to try and work out. So I'm just going to turn those back off. Right. Let's just have a quick look. Key 32. It's not a long flight, this. Jet card. Who on earth is jet card? Right, we need to start that descent, don't we? Let's start getting down to 10,000 feet, shall we? As we are not spending very long at our cruising altitude. Might be a fast descent at this rate. Have we even served alcohol yet? In fact, we'll go down to 18,000. That would make more sense in the USA, wouldn't it?
Please make sure your tray tables are in the downward position and clear any bags or items from the aisle. As this is a test flight, all alcoholic beverages are being served free of charge as a thank you for putting your lives in our hands today. Please note that the alcoholic drink service is not available to under 18. Soft drinks will instead be offered. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, we're delighted to know that we almost finished completing our checks and tests, and we'll shortly be flying out of the destination. At which point, the cabin crew will start to prepare for our arrival. So please make sure that we are involved and assisting in around the aircraft.
HD, I can't change the ATC. It's another one of the INOP switches, I'm afraid. So we're now on our way down, and that looks a little bit bumpy. We need to just, let's just wind that speed up a little bit, get ourselves down. Let's have a look at the destination data. AOC, messages received, we'll print that off. Those winds have died down a little bit, so that's okay.
center on 133.35.
So, QNH is 3023.
4960. New York Center, using Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey 4960, flight level 325.
Temperature is 20 degrees. Winds are... what are the winds? 310 at 8. Transition altitude, of course, is 18,000 feet. Oh, one too many zeros. And the decision altitude then, let's have a look. So with no SID, let's just check ILS frequency 108.7. And elevation, oh, that's quite high, isn't it? So 1,000, about 1,100 feet. Missed approach is 2,600, then climbing, so continue climbing to 4,000 feet. And then we hold at MEST. And ILS, runway visual range. I still don't understand these runway visual ranges here in the USA, so we're guessing that's 3/4 of a mile. Visibility is far greater than that, so we can do 1,349. Let's pop that in. 1,349. There we go. So let's just increase that rate of descent a little bit as well. We really need to get down. We're still very high. We have got extra track mileage to fly. We've got about what, 60, I'm guessing 60, 75 miles to go with the track mileage showing. No idea where we're going once we land, by the way. That's not the point of this flight. The flight is to try and break stuff. Taxi. Have we got? Oh, I've got the airport list pinned. It's just not showing it. I think you have to drag it open to. Oh, there we go. Now I've got the option of seeing it. So we're landing runway 32. We'll vacate left and find somewhere to park. So Danny, we basically came up with Ithaca just because it's the closest airport to Waterloo, which is where the Memorial Day was born, I believe. Oh, Danny, thank you very much for pointing that out. Max 75, thank you very, very much for your very, very kind $20 donation there. That is extremely generous. Max says, a pleasant surprise that you're flying to Keith today. It's not called Keith, my apologies, that's just the ICAO code. And have a great landing. Max 75, that is really, really generous of you. Thank you so much. It is greatly appreciated. Please grab a beer on me from the cabin crew as we start to enter this cloud layer. Let's wind that speed up and make sure we can get down in time. So with no SID, we basically fly from the Charlie Fox Bravo VOR, and we vector ourselves in then on the ILS. Max and 5, if you do have any problems, please do get in touch either via Discord or email, of course, and I'll be happy to help out. Happy to help out more if we can. if we are too high, we will just fly through the centre line here, and we'll just add some track mileage to that and come back around in for a landing. Should be straightforward and easy enough to do. We can see the decel point coming up. So that's quite annoying, but I'm not sure that's a fly-by-wire issue. I don't know if you guys can see that in the stream, but the primary flight display is just flickering as we're coming through the cloud layers, which a little bit annoying. I mean, we can get that's not too much of a problem, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? Okay, so thrust idle, open descent, 5,000 blue. Let's just check that to the local QNH, which is 3023. There we go. Have you ever actually seen that in the real aircraft, HD? A flickering screen. Just bash it and hope for the best. Wow, those clouds look good. But I'm not seeing any rain on the radar, so that's good. That's okay. So let's run the approach checklist. Minimums are set. Like engine, mode select is normal, electronic flyback stowed, and we've basically briefed what should be a nice, quite straightforward, simple approach. OAV, thank you for subscribing. Good to have you on board. So we just need to start slowing down as well. 250 knots below 10,000 feet. Have you actually seen them go black and white? That's got to be a nerve-wracking moment. You don't want the sky and the ground looking the same colour, do you? Yeah, could I, do you speed up to accelerate the descent? Yes, you do. So it's targeting 300 knots. The way to do that is lower the nose, speed up, and you can increase the rate of descent there. I'm about to wind that back though in a few hundred feet. John Lambert, thank you for subscribing. Great to have you on board. We're probably not going to be far off this approach actually. Right, so let's start winding that back. Decel point isn't too far away, so we just want to watch that for it doing anything crazy. HD, I've not touched the speed brakes yet. I mean, we technically don't know if they work in this new aircraft. I've not tried them. Anisha, thank you for subscribing. Great to have you on board. We've got an aircraft just there, look, we can see on TCAS. So 10,000 feet, let's get those lights on. And down we go. Ooh, now this is a good question. Is this a locked DME or not? No, right, we need the Ithaca VOR in there for a bit of distance reference, so ITH, let's pop that in. We can see that the ILS has populated though, so that's good. Oh, 25 miles away, that's pretty decent. Right, so I believe now we've just passed the decel point. Yep, so we're in the approach phase, that's okay. However, as you can see, the navigation display has just gone a little bit off there, hasn't it? We still seem to be heading direct to the right waypoint, that's the main thing. And what's our platform altitude here? 3,000 feet, so let's get down 3,000 feet and 3,000 blue, set. Jake, I can't wait for the A380 either. That's going to be some fun to fly, isn't it?
Cabin crew, about 15 minutes to landing. If you can prepare the cabin, thank you.
So we actually look to be quite nicely on profile. We'll get down to, it says there, 3,400 feet. The platform altitude is 3,000 feet. Are we going to now turn to Oki? Yes, we are. Very good. We can start rolling that speed back now a little bit as well. Jacob, I'm going to get an Easyjet livery on the on the A380. Well, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be released.
I've got it on the CRJ.
Please make sure you are seated with your belts fastened and your trays in the upright position. Please turn off all electronic devices until after landing. Thank you.
Now, who was it in the chat earlier that said they lived near here? Max75. Was it yourself? There was yourself and someone else. They said the weather was looking good with clear skies. That's not what I'm seeing out the window at the minute. Okay, so let's go to manage speed, start slowing down to green dot. And we're below the glide slope at the moment, so that's nice. We can arm the localizer. Should we do an auto land? Check that's working. We probably should, shouldn't we? One of the other things we need to ensure is working correctly. 19 miles out. So we've just slowed that rate of descent now, got speed and a VS of 700. Warm enough now not to require the anti-ice as well, so we can get rid of that. HD, that is a fair point. It's only a Cat 1 runway. Lock star. So we've got Alt GS Blue, Lock Star, Cat 3 Dual, Autopilot 1 and 2.
Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey 4960.
I'm actually just changing that to 3,400, which was an altitude on the chart, as you can see, also shown there on the constraints. And we're below the glide slope anyway, so that's okay. We will capture that nicely in a moment. We're now on Alt Star. So let's start configuring, shall we? Let's go flaps 1. About 13 miles out. And you can see that it's capturing that localizer. It's taken a little while to do it, but we've got plenty of space and time to play with, so we're okay. We're visual with the landing lights anyway, as you can see just below that that cloud layer. And just going to wait for the glide slope to become alive, and then we'll get flaps 2 out. I've also got a replay lined up for this as well, so don't worry about not getting exciting passenger views. They shall come shortly. And the glide slope is now alive, so flaps 2, speed check. Flaps 2. Almost looks, as I'm looking through the clouds now, that the sun is actually shining just on the airfield itself, just waiting to greet us. So that's quite neat. Oh, HD, was there a bug on departure? I'm going to have to watch that back. What was that? We've got glide slope captured. Missed approach altitude is now set. 7 miles to run. Oh, that looks really nice, doesn't it? What better way to welcome us? There's a gap in the clouds. I've never seen that before. That's awesome. Okay, so 6 miles. Let's start configuring. Landing gear. Spoilers armed. Ding the cabin. Get the lights on. We'll tell self-loading cargo to do the same.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing. Thank you.
And flaps 3. And flaps full. That hill looks a bit close, doesn't it? The replay on this is going to look fantastic from the passenger views. I'll look forward to that in a moment, once we've touched down. How close is that? You don't want to get this wrong, do you, in IMC? Okay, well, all looks good there. Let's look to land the aircraft now, shall we? So, flaps are full, cabin secured for landing, auto thrust speed, go around altitude is set, ECAM memo landing no blue. Autopilot off. I have control. Just check that wind. Cat 1 showing. Just need to make sure we're not too high. Chasing that glide slope a little bit. Bring that back up. Centre line's looking good. Wind's not too annoying there. Continue.
200.
Don't want to scrape my landing gear on one of those trees.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
And reverses green. Spoilers deployed. Welcome to Ithaca, an airport I must say I never thought I'd ever land at. And 70 knots. Reverses off. And then we shall vacate left in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated until the aircraft arrives at the gate and the seatbelt signs have been turned off. You are reminded to keep all electronic devices switched off until you have entered the airport terminal. If you enjoyed your flight, you can now join the channel as a member and receive extra perks to make your future flights with us more enjoyable. Once again, a reminder that this is a test version of the Airbus A320 and not yet available for download. Please join us in a round of applause for the wonderful fly-by-wire developers. Thank you.
So was the landing rate plus? So technically the ground came up to meet us. That's nice. Yap, yes, that's to compensate for the minus 3,000 yesterday. I'm trying to claw back some dignity. Okay, we're just going to dump this, then I'm going to watch the, then we'll set the replay going. Big thanks to everyone that's watched the stream so far. If you could do me a massive favour before leaving and just hit the like button, that would be great. But do stick around, we are going to watch a replay of that. We'll see if we can improve up on a landing rate of plus 18. I'm sorry, what on earth is that? I've heard of remote terminal stands, but that's ridiculous. Yeah, okay, let's park there just because I'm quite interested to see what the hell that is. I've not turned the lights off yet, but well, that's different. That's very different. Oh, we're going to suck in the ground crew. That's okay. Right. So passengers get to walk from the jetway straight to the car park by the looks of it, bypassing security control and everything. That's immense. Oh mate, I wouldn't stand there. Right. Well, you see all sorts, don't you? Max 75, yeah, there's no terminal, just a jetway to nowhere. Well, it looks like it goes to the car park. To be fair, stuff like that you've just got to laugh at, because realistically you've got to think about what Microsoft and Azobo have done. What is it, 35,000 airports around the globe, and occasionally you'll find something daft like that. But there you go. I can live with that. I can live with it, particularly on a much smaller airfield. If it was a big airport, you know, a big international airport, you'd be a little bit miffed. But something like this, you can perhaps forgive them for. And Max 75, I know it's one of your local airports, but as you say, there's a lot of great modders out there that are sorting stuff like that out. So I am going to just stop the recording, and then we'll enjoy the replay, shall we, guys? But other than that, I think mostly it wasn't too bad. Now, for some reason, since the sim update has been done with flight control replay, when you stop the recording, it sort of reloads your flight, but that's okay. It doesn't take too long. Let me just get rid of self-loading cargo, and there we go. Christian, isn't that how they basically built Berlin-Brandenburg over the course of 18 years, or however daft it was? That's basically how... maybe that was the cause for delays. So aside from potentially a little flap issue on departure, which HD and I will check out, then I think we can say that was more or less a successful flight, wasn't it? So Fly-by-Wire will be more than happy to hear that. Big thumbs up to them. They do such fantastic work. Gary Bolvin, good evening, sir. Hope you're well. You're just in time for the replay. We're just getting that loaded up. So yeah, it takes us right back to the start. So I think we're back in. Are we back in Washington? No, this isn't Washington. That looks nothing like Washington. Oh, good word. Where am I going and why am I going backwards? Never mind. Oh, and it looks like every single light in the flight deck's just come on. Oh, the simulator crashed. Oh, that's annoying. Well, there you go. Looks like we're not going to be watching replay after all. I didn't like that. Unfortunately, since the World Update, I've been having issues with flight control replay, and I don't know, it's clearly something that Microsoft have done this, changed the coding, something like that. So I'm going to get in touch with the developer, see if there's something we can do to try and sort that out, which is because it is a bit of a pain, because the replay tool used to work all the time, really nice. So not entirely sure why that has happened, but there we go. Nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. Instead, it means you now just get to look at what I think is the most beautiful screenshot I've ever taken in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I believe this was coming into Venice. No, not Venice. Was it Venice? It might have been. It might have been. Might have been Venice. So apologies, I cannot show you the replay. But yeah, I think that's something to do with the replay tool rather than the simulator itself. I have to say, since the last sim update, nuking the PC, reinstalling Windows, reinstalling the simulator from scratch, it has actually been almost unflappable, and I've done all sorts of things in the simulator. I've been zooming around, I've switched things on, off, reloaded different aircraft, and quickly as well, so hardly given it time to think, and it's just handled it and taken it in its stride. So yeah, I think the last sim update that we got was really good. But there we go. Yeah, lucky something crashed today, you were getting worried. Christian, this is what happens if you don't set the priority to low for Microsoft. Yeah, you've spoken about this, Christian, haven't you? In the Discord channel, about the setting that priority to low. That's the sort of thing that I would forget to do every time, but I do believe there is a way to do it, so it's done automatically, isn't it? But anyway. Alright guys, so we're going to leave the stream there. That's kind of being ended for us there, but never mind. We got a decent flight in, and it was great to celebrate the Memorial Day as well for our American viewers. So it was great to have a few of you guys along as well. So we've had no long-haul Mileage Monday flight today, but we will be doing one this week. I don't know which day it is, but we will definitely get a mileage. Well, it's not going to be a Mileage Monday flight, is it? But we'll definitely get a long-haul flight in at some point this week. We're looking forward to that, as always. So a big thank you to those of you that have subscribed to the channel for the first time, and I hope you will join us on many more flights to come. A big thank you to everyone that has watched. Please hit the like button before disappearing. It is free, of course, and it really helps the channel immensely with the sort of algorithms that YouTube uses. A big thank you to to everyone who has donated and contributed to the stream. It is very kind of you, and really just help me keep the channel going. And of course, to our Easyjetsimpilot members, old and new, you guys are amazing. Thank you very much for your continued support. I look forward to seeing you in the next stream, so make sure you've got the notification bells turned on once you've subscribed, to make sure you don't miss any new videos and any new content that is uploaded. Great test flight for the Fly-by-Wire guys. Big thumbs up to them. Looking forward to seeing you all on the next one. Good night, everybody. Bye bye.